The patron saint is a saint who many times exemplified in a certain area of life how to really live it out. That sometimes certain patron saints we look to in certain careers, because again, ordinary men and women that sometimes they lived a certain career, they had certain jobs, and just how they sanctified it. Or sometimes certain struggles that they were faced with. You know, again, we were reminded that the saints struggled. They weren't perfect. Some of their homes or sometimes their surroundings were very difficult. That sometimes we may look at a certain patron saint because it makes us how they respond to their struggles. Whether they had that personal struggle themselves or from those right around them. An example would be St. Monica. St. Monica was the mother of St. Augustine. And for her, she was a woman of great faith. And that yet for her son and husband, that both of them were not living very virtuously. That her husband was a man who was an alcoholic, a man of a very terrible temper, was also a man who did not have much faith. And yet by her example, and through those sufferings at times she experienced, she has been a great example for so many other people because it ended up leading to her husband's conversion and her son's conversion, and her son became one of the greatest saints and one of the greatest bishops in the history of the church. And so the patron saints are ones that we look to and remember that sometimes when we're faced with certain things, we really can imitate them. It's not just some pious thought, it's not just some pious action. There's piety involved there, but it's realizing that these things that they many times struggled with or suffered with, that because they kept entrusting themselves to God's grace, they kept turning to God in that trust, in that faith, that God helped them through it. And that's why they're a great example for us, to realize that when we're faced with certain things, that especially by those examples of the patron saints, and by their intercession, we can turn to them in prayer, asking their help, that then God responds to God can help us through those same type of things that they went through as well.
It's so very important for our young people to understand the importance of having a patron saint in their lives. A patron saint, just think of it, follows them along the path. The patron saint knows they want to be a saint. So the patron saint is interceding before the throne of the Lord for all the graces they need to realize this dream, to realize this cherished goal. Just think of it, a champion in heaven who is there fighting for you and praying for you and spurring you on to victory. Just think of the cloud of witnesses that have gone before us, the saints, and there's one who has you in mind and your needs and the things that you desire to become a saint, the things that you're asking for to become a saint. Just think of how important that is and how efficacious that is in a young person's life.
We have this army of heroes.
I mean, imagine, you can be a hero for God. Nothing can compare to that.